All right, the Hideout. How are we feeling? Make some noise. Thank you. I just want to do a quick check-in. Thank you, Allegra, so much. Hi, I'm Starr Stallion. I'm 21 years old. I'm a recent transplant of Chicago of 1 year now, 1 year anniversary. Let's make some noise for that. And I will be moving. No, I'm kidding. I'm not moving. I'm staying. I'll be here for a moment. And yes, I'm 21, and I came out at the tender age of 12. I also grew up in a religious family. My grandfather actually was a pastor all of my life and still continues to be. So I grew up like going to church every Sunday, going to Bible study, like fully ingrained in church drag even. Church is a drag performance of itself. It's a heightened character, and Jesus is a drag queen. And I always knew that I was different, or that I was, unique in a way, because other people told me. I behaved what I thought was naturally, and I would often get told, "Why do you act like a girl? Why do you act like a girl? Do you have a dad in the house? Because you act like a girl. Why are you so gay?" And I'd be like, I just wanted to blow bubbles. I thought every guy did that. And I was often told that I was different, and not different in a good way that made me feel special, but in a way that made me feel outcasted. And it was so confusing, because I started out feeling so like effervescent and just like happy to be like included and just happy to be around other people. But slowly and surely through that, I kind of felt the need to dim my light and to silence myself, and that my voice didn't matter, because here I was raised only by women, always by women. My mother, my aunts, my grandmothers all spent time putting in work to raise me. But now I was told that those qualities were not worthy or deemed worthy because I looked the way I look. And that was really rough growing up, because I really always truly wanted to just be one of the girls, and not in a way to make myself seem odd, but just because I had such a love and strong respect for femininity. I loved Hannah Montana, and I loved That's So Raven, Sister. I didn't necessarily watch the boys shows. That wasn't me. And that was always something that was within me, but I felt the need to hide. And it wasn't until 12 when I came out and I was like, "Hello, Mom, this is me." And she said, "Really?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was very confused, because she had these heteronormative expectations, these, visions and dreams of me marrying a woman and having a family and settling down in this heteronormative life that she always wished for herself, and the things that maybe she couldn't attain. And that was just never my future. I never wanted to marry a woman. I never thought about having kids. And if I did, it was maybe in like an asexual, photosynthesis kind of way. I never was like, yeah, I'm gonna get married and have a big wedding. I was like, no, it's just gonna come out. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna have time to think about it. And it was always her dream to have me married and have kids and a heteronormative life. And unfortunately, that was just not something that was in my cards. I came out at 12, and she was very confused. We spent like 3 months just really at odds, at distance. And through that, I found online communities. I would talk to so many people from across the world who were my age, who were queer, who were interested in the things that I were interested in, whether it be YouTube people or musicians or actors or movies, whatever it was. I was able to find a subculture and a community through those people. And we would spend hours and hours just talking on the phone, writing fan fiction. Don't tell anybody I said that. Don't find the username. You don't want it. And it was so nice to be able to feel seen and heard. At the time was the height of not feeling seen and heard. To have people who were like, "Hey, I see you for who you are. I understand you for who you are. And I appreciate you for who you are." And that is a lot of what drag truly is. And that's a lot of what I love about drag. The next 3 years of my life were pretty good. Me and my mom got to make up. Me and my mom got to have a great, strong relationship. Again, she is now my biggest supporters, and she gets to come to all my shows. And I always send her pictures of my makeup, and I'm like, "Hi, Mom, do I look so gorgeous? Tell me I look gorgeous." And she's like, "You did all right. We're still working on it. And I get to, it wasn't until I started drag in 2020 that I got to again have that feeling of community. But in 14, I went to high school and I was like, you know what? I have been silent for too long. I know I want to do this. I have to do this. It's very important. I'm very scared, but I'm going to do the spring musical. Yes, it was time. It was time to let my voice be heard. And that I did. My first production was The Little Mermaid. I was Sailor number 2. Make some noise. Not 1, but 2, okay? If Rue's number 1, I'm number 2, okay? And that unleashed something in me. I found so many people who, again, were my age, who were right next to me this time, not on a digital landscape, who were interested in things I was interested in, who were gay, who were flamboyant, who were out there, who were just strong personalities. And finally, I was like, okay, I'm not being judged. You're not judging me. Like, let's be besties. Let's go get food after this. And it created such, again, a strong community. I got to do so many shows. I got to be multiple lead roles. I got to assist and direct. I got to do things in Wisconsin and like at theater festivals. It opened up the doors for me to feel celebrated, which is what I always wanted. But something was still missing, especially when I went to college. I was like, I don't feel seen in these roles. I don't feel represented. I don't see the Black femme person in these roles. I don't see even the Black person in these roles sometimes, you know? And it was like, what do I do with this? How can I put myself in these roles when I don't want to play these masculine archetypes that are misogynistic or homophobic or just all around douchebags even, you know? I'm just not that, you know? I want to know, where is myself? And then the pandemic happened and everything shut down. Everything changed, you know? And I was like, okay, theater's wrapped up at the moment. I don't think anybody's going to be on Broadway anytime soon. So what can I do? And I was at my friend's house, my friend Joe, who's now my roommate. And Joe was like, hey, I'm doing digital drag. Why don't you make a little drag music video? You love drag. You know you love RuPaul's Drag Race. Why don't you do this? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll let you know. Then the day came and she was like, so are you doing it? And I was like, yes. And I got in makeup. I drugged myself over there. And then I sat and I was like, oh, I really don't want to do this. But I know if I do this, my life will change. I know that if I don't do this, I will sit for the rest of my life wondering when I am going to do it. And if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. I put the makeup on. I put on the crunchiest wig I own, that I still own, because we conserve our drag in this house. Baby drag is not cheap. Okay. And I'll put that crunchy wig back on. I'm wearing it tonight. No. And I performed Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande. Yes, it was Christmas. Make some noise for Christmas. And I felt like the only prettiest woman you will ever see walking down the street. And I looked not okay. It shouldn't have been. That's the drag we want to ban. Ban that drag. That's the drag. But that is the confidence. That is the confidence that drag graces you. You know, it is this superpower that you put on. It's this persona, and it is this uniform that you put on and step into to be who you couldn't be. I put it on. I was confident. I had this persona kind of that was, again, locked in me, just come out on this camera. And I was like, okay, no matter what happens, if the world opens back up, whatever, I will be doing this. And I stuck to that promise. Like, who would have thought that a pandemic baby drag, only doing drag in the living room queen, would move to her dream city of Chicago and enter multiple competitions and make it to the finale in all of them? She's fierce. And it was like all of my dreams that I've had for myself that I wouldn't even allow myself to have because I felt like I couldn't, were unlocked the moment I allowed myself to have them. The moment I didn't allow other people, especially my family members, to control what I allowed to view for myself. I was allowed to have this dream. This was my own individual dream. And I'm not gonna let anybody take that away from me because I deserve to dream it. And once I allowed myself to do that, these doors open. I get to work with people who I have followed for the past 6 to 7 years, people who I followed since I was 16 and 15 years old, and to get their respect and their kudos and their love and resources has just been truly amazing and eye-opening. to get to do and perform for hundreds of people, and for like things such as the Chicago Sun-Times. I mean, make some noise for them. That is amazing. And it's only the beginning for me, you know? And I never forget when my grandfather, the pastor, mind you, found my drag through one of my nosy cousins. It be your cousins. Watch out for the cousins, always, always. There's always a cousin somewhere. And they had found my drag on my Snapchat, so I guess it wasn't hidden. I mean, and they had screenshot it, and my grandfather was like, "Who's this?" Now, mind you, it was at my birthday dinner. Baby, we is at my birthday dinner. Why are you trying to pull the receipts on me? And I'm trying to eat some cheesecake. It was wild. It was wild. But due to the power of drag, instead of when my young queer self may have cowered away and been like, felt the need to apologize or, you know, be embarrassed about what I was presenting, I was able to be like, me looking gorgeous. A direct quote. And it was something, that's when I knew that drag had taught me what it needed to teach me. It's about the community. It's about the fostering of friends. I've been able to make so many friends through doing these competitions and people that I get to work with and craft performances with. And it's also about that inner child dream I have. I wanted to be this fierce, flamboyant, out there, feminine kid. And I was told that was wrong because that's not what boys do. And doing drag, I was able to be like, no, this is exactly what boys do. This is what girls do. And this is what everybody else in between does and should do, because it gives you the power to be who you always wanted to be. I get to be fierce. I get to perform on stage and be commanding attention, to be sexy when I want to be sexy, to be funny when I want to be funny. I get to play with the levels. It is just like theater, you know, it is theater. It's a theatrical production. And that's what I love about drag. And that's why I want to continue to do it. You know, I want to continue to access the gifts that I have within to push myself forward and to use Starr Stallion as a canvas for my art. And how can I translate what I want to translate in my aesthetic through the telling of visual performance and you know, storytelling through a song. It combines my favorite talents of like acting and singing and dancing and crafting and curating performances and outfits, while also giving to live my Hannah Montana, you know, superstar at night, normal girl by day dream, which I've always dreamed of doing, which is kind of random. I don't know why I dreamed that, but like, sure, you know, double life. And that's what I love about drag. The ability to access my gifts within and the community and love and talent that I get to foster within myself. And that's why I do drag, and that's why I am a star and a stallion.